Well, hey guys, this is kind of a fun topic. I did a video on this before on the original Hunt Simple, and it was popular and somewhat controversial, which is always kind of fun. And, as I got further along in my hunting, reloading, love of cartridges, studying cartridges, I kind of started to realize, in my mind at least, there were three different classes of cartridges. And one's not better than the other. They all have a purpose, they all have an intent, and they're all fun in their own way. But I think it's kind of helpful to look at it this way, kind of compartmentalize some of these things. So I've got a little table here that I made that I'll show you in a couple minutes, but just real quick, maybe a few general thoughts here is nothing's absolute, right? There's exceptions to everything, and a guy with a 28-inch barrel and some pretty snazzy hand loading could definitely make one of these cartridges move up or down a class. And I've noted a couple examples on this table of that. So take it with a grain of salt. It's generally true. And really, I think, some of the cartridges that are tweeners that are kind of on the border, that's fine. You can move them up, move them down. Factory ammo is mostly going to have them in these classes. Reloaders could potentially jump a cartridge a class, and not all cartridges can jump a class. There's no way to get a certain amount of energy out of a 6.5 Creedmoor. It's just not going to do it. So that's one example, but let's look at this table and then we'll wrap this up. All right, guys, you can see there kind of a list of cartridges by class, and let's just start walking through this. So I break it down by their ability to generate muzzle energy. So 3,000 foot-pounds and under, I call class 1, and you can see this list of cartridges. You notice the 30-06 and the 6.5 PRC are a little different color. My printer was actually jacked up and didn't print them the color I wanted, but nonetheless, that's to note that with a long barrel and some snazzy reloading, you could probably break 3,000 feet per second with 30-06 and the 6.5 PRC, but with factory ammo and with most people's rifles and abilities, they're going to stay under 3,000 feet at the muzzle, foot-pounds, not velocity. And so these are your real traditional cartridges that are proven, excellent big game cartridges, and my favorite class of cartridge for sure. And you guys that have followed me know that for me, the trade-off of a lot more recoil and a lot more cost to gain a little bit more energy doesn't matter for my hunting style, because I'm keeping my shots certainly under 400 and preferably under 300 yards. So anyway, class 1. Class 2 cartridges are those that have muzzle energy. They can generate muzzle energy between 3,000 and 3,500 foot-pounds. 300 Win Mag, 7 Mag, 7 PRC, 6.8 Western, 35 Whalen. I put a 35 caliber cartridge in every one of these just for fun. You'll notice 300 Win Mag's a little different color. Again, with a long barrel and some snazzy reloading, you can slightly break 3,500 foot-pounds at the muzzle with the 300 Win Mag. But most factory ammo and normal rifles, 24-inch barrel rifles, will not get you there. This is an awesome class of cartridges. These are all ideal for Western big game hunting for sure, and maybe even beyond that. So this is a great class of cartridges. Trade-off, a little more recoil, a little heavier rifles, but certainly very popular. And you guys all know I'm a big fan of the 7 Mag. Project Big 7 is underway. I did finally get some components that I need, so we'll be rolling those videos up really soon. And then class 3, the big boys, muzzle energy capability over 3,500 foot-pounds, 300 Weatherby, and there's a shout out to our good friend at Reloading Weatherby. It's an unbelievable cartridge. It can break 4,000 foot-pounds. 338 Win Mag, 300 Rum, 300 PRC, and there's the 35 caliber shout out in class 3, the 358 Norma Magnum. If you've never looked at that and you're into cartridges, that's unbelievable cartridge, 358 Norma. So these are some monster cartridges capable of taking really game worldwide. You could take any of these to Alaska, and beyond, honestly, the type of energies you can generate. Most all of these can break 4,000 foot-pounds. And naturally, guys, so this is not all encompassing, right? There's tons of other cartridges that would fit into this, these classes. But this just gives you an idea of the types of cartridges we're talking about. And it's kind of fun to just look at this broken out by energy. So again, real quick, trade-offs, like we mentioned, the cost, right? The further you go up in these classes, the more the ammo costs, and generally the more the rifles cost. Not always the case, but it can be. Recoil goes up exponentially across these classes of cartridges. Shootability, nowadays with brakes and suppressors, the heavier hitters have been tamed a little bit. Still, for most people, shooting class 3 cartridges, even some of the class 2, are not much fun, and people can be less accurate. That's another reason I'm a fan of the class 1 cartridges, but each to their own there. And then the weight of the rifles, typically as you go up in classes, you're going to have bigger, heavier rifles that, for me, again, I don't like to pack that weight in the mountains. The way I hunt, I'm doing 6 to 10 miles a day in steep terrain, maybe 2,000 vertical feet, and every ounce matters to me. So I like lighter rifles that I can pack easier. Again, that's just my style of hunting. There's no wrong or right answer there, whatever works for you. So hopefully this kind of stuff's cool, guys, kind of fascinating, should generate some interesting conversations. And I look forward to that. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say.